Staying on the topic of the Hardy Boys, they talked about interesting venues they have wrestled at during their careers, with Ringside News writing, "The Hardys recently opened up about some of the most unique places they've wrestled during their storied careers. While global expansion might be a newer concept for sports leagues like the UFC and the NFL, wrestling has long been a worldwide phenomenon, with promotions hosting events across continents for decades." In a recent interview with Fightful, Jeff and Matt Hardy reflected on their most memorable experiences wrestling in far-flung and unconventional locations. Jeff Hardy recalled a particularly surreal event during his second stint in TNA, where he and his fellow wrestlers embarked on a tour in India. "Oh, it's definitely my second run in TNA. We did a little tour in India and the entrance was so bizarre and unreal," Jeff said. Jeff described how wrestlers made their entrances through a mist curtain that doubled as a projector screen. "It was like a mist machine was spraying mist down like you see at theme parks to cool you off. You could see images just like watching a movie on a screen at home, and everybody's entrance was on that mist of water. We walked out through the mist water. It was crazy. I wish I had video of that because it was so unbelievable." Jeff also shared the significance of performing for the troops in Baghdad, a memory that holds a special place in his heart. "A trip to the troops was huge for me too in Baghdad. I did that 3 years in a row and that was so cool." Meanwhile, Matt Hardy reminisced about his international wrestling experiences in Japan, Singapore, and Saudi Arabia. "I think going to Japan for the very first time, that was a big deal to me," Matt said, describing it as a career milestone. "Wrestling in Singapore was a blast. That was very unique. Wrestling in Saudi Arabia too was quite the experience at some place I never expected to be at. All those places were pretty significant, pretty spectacular, and very different from what you're accustomed to."